Attention, all stations. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Bonsoir, tout le monde, et bienvenue. Happy New Year, everyone. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu, opening the Amateur Radio Exchange Group for Wednesday, January 1st, 2025. My name is Chuck, and my station is located in Hamilton, Ontario. This net is on every Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. and ending around 10 p.m. local time here on 146.430 megahertz. And since this is a simplex net, not everyone will be able to hear everyone else. So I also stream the net on YouTube. So people who tune in will be able to hear stations that they cannot hear on their radio. They can hear how their audio sounds on the air and see their signal strength as well as see my station layout. Just type my call into the YouTube search box. Again, VA3CJZ. And tonight you can look for us live or under our title AREG Week 1633. That's 1,633 weeks consecutive that AREG has been on the air. That's over 31 years. And finally, I ask that you please leave at least 1 second delay between transmissions to allow others to break in. Are there any time sensitive or mobile stations who would like to check in now? Please come now. All right, nothing heard. Let's open it up to anyone with a valid license. Please come now.
Victor Echo 3, Victor Alpha 3, Bravo Tango. VA3, Whiskey Pop Golf. VA3, VA3, MCA.
Okay. So I think I missed one there. Sorry, I got Albert. You threw me off there. APT, WPG, and November Charlie Alpha. Who's the other station?
Oh my goodness, you didn't hear me?
Yes, I did, but I was kind of confused here. I got audio going out the wrong speakers at the moment, and so I kind of didn't. I heard you, but I was distracted. Anyways, that's you were number two, right?
No, I followed Chris.
Okay, very good. All right, we're ready to go. Let's bring in Albert, VE3 APT.
Well, I was putting out that call first, and then I realized, oh, VA3 VT. But anyways, either one doesn't matter. Anyways, Happy New Year, Chuck and everybody on frequency here. Just the general check-in. I was off there, I don't know, last bunch of days, back to work tomorrow. So I'm back in for the next 2 days. Haven't really been doing a whole lot of radio. Been running around visiting family and friends, and it's been a busy bunch of days there. So I don't want to say I'm looking forward to going back to work, but yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. But anyways, we'll hand it back over to you there, Chuck. BA3BT.
All right, very good, Albert. So listen, I'm wondering, how did that? Well, it's a fryer, right? But you used water for it. So how did that turn out?
Oh yeah, it was a seafood boil. So they,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was trying to get the audio to come in there properly, but anyways, yeah. So you can get a mixture. You say a seafood boil mixture. Oh wow, right on. Cool. Never knew that. I thought, yeah. Well, it only makes sense, right? But I always thought most people use them for with oil. All right. Very good. Sounds good. All right, Albert. Well, thanks for checking in. Much appreciated, sir. And we'll probably get back to you in a bit. And so let's move down to number two, and that's Chris, right? VA3 WPG. Come on in, Chris.
Hey, good evening, everybody. VA3 WPG. I'm just going, yeah. Yes, on the 30th, that would have been Monday, as I think I mentioned. I took my stuff down to the parking garage, set up my antennas in the back area of the building, and worked a bunch of stations. Well, I guess that brought me into my next award because I now got, oh, what is that thing called here? Oh, where did it go? The Texas Wild Rice Hunter for working 600 different units. Granted December 31st at 0101. So I guess that's the radio news for now.
Oh, wow. You're moving up quickly there. Geez, I just, I forget. It's only been, what, maybe October, I think. I got my 600. So, or was it 700? I can't remember now. So, yeah, you're doing really good. Congratulations. Any radio related goals you have?
Um, no, just get back out there when the weather gets nice again, really.
Yes, I hear you. I know we've had some pretty mild temperatures, but apparently, as of tonight, we're going back down into the minuses, and it looks like we're going to be staying there for a while. But the days are getting longer. We're almost at 5 p.m. For the sunset every day now. For a while there, it was at a quarter to five. Now it's at 4:56 p.m. today. It was, anyways. And so the days are getting longer, but we got to get through the rough patch of January and the first half of February, and then we'll be good.
Yes, I did believe I looked at that earlier. I think by the end of the week we're going to be up at 5 o'clock, if I remember correctly there.
Yeah. So that's it's something to look forward to, anyways. I'm also not a winter person. I never was. Well, maybe for a couple of years when I was younger, much younger. Maybe 20 years old. But um, after that, having tasted Florida in the wintertime, yeah. So, anyways, Chris, thanks for checking in, my friend. We'll get back to you in a bit. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't always so dark, dull, and gray. Like just let that sun come through. Anyways, let's keep it moving. VA3 WPG, and we'll catch you on the next round.
All right, very good. Remember, in the heart of winter, if you get a bright sunny day, it usually means below freezing, sometimes very cold temperatures. The sun seems to burn away the clouds. So when it's really cold. All right, Chris, thanks again. Now let's move over to Mac VA3IMW. Mac, come on in.
Good evening, Charles. Yeah, I hear that you've got NFL practicing his French, and he's almost got it down pat. I heard him on ZOE practicing this afternoon, so he thinks he's got it. He's really close. He just needs to work on the enunciation of the vowels, but other than that, he's going to be a cultured individual, to say the least. Anyways, Happy New Year. Congrats on the first one of this year, and trusting there's going to be many more years of AREG in order to celebrate additional milestones. I tipped over another milestone yesterday evening. I posted my screenshot from it on the net there. Not the net. Yeah, it's internet. But I managed to meet that personal target of 4,000 for unique parks for 2024. That's lots of QSOs in the rearview mirror, but as you get further on the list, the milestones get further apart. So the next is going to be 4,500, and I'm not sure that we'll try and see what we can do. The more parks that you pick up, the less new ones there are to find. Other than that, last night was a nice quiet night.
My earbuds
I
are
looked at
screwing
the
up
clock
on me.
at, I think it was just shortly after
me.
10. Decided there was no real need for me to see the ball drop anyways, and headed off to bed. So, other than that,
please bear with me. Back in.
Thanks for doing this one.
All right, Mac. Very good. Well, thank you for what you do for the amateur radio community, and you got another one in the bag. So, looking forward to checking in on your nets. Two for sure, right? Thursdays and Sunday with the upper sideband 70 centimeter net on Sunday nights. And then on Thursday, the Lake Ontario net on 70 centimeter Simplex. Tomorrow night, actually, that'll probably be your last or your your last of the first year for a few weeks, right?
Yeah, that's going to be the last net that I run until I'm back from India. So I'm not sure whether Jason's really put his hand up all the way for Sunday, but I'm sure that between him and yourself, you can work out the details. Or just let it slide, who knows. But yeah, Thursday night, I'll be on the 446-125 Simplex frequency for the Lake Ontario Radio Club net. Anyways, yeah, it's always good to carry on these traditions, and gives everybody a chance to utilize their radios for various reasons, purposes, and really it's a true test of the skill of the operator. And obviously we can see with some of our newer hams that they've already been developing that skill and ability, and they're very busy on activating or hunting, despite conditions which may not be optimum, but they are making it work for them. So it's all good. And also, as you mentioned, days are getting longer. I had noticed that myself. And as the days really get longer, looking forward to March 22nd, which will be our spring equinox activation. We'll find a nice spot where there's not any RF interference, when we can have a good event instead of one we have to struggle against. But yeah, we'll figure that out as spring approaches. Back to you, Chuck.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, we wish you well on your trip. Uh, the unfortunate thing is being stuck in a metal tube with recycled air with a couple hundred other people crammed next to you. But, anyways, I'm sure you'll be fine. All right, Mac, we'll get back to you in a little bit. And so let's move down to Wade, VA3 November Charlie Alpha. Wade, come on in.
VA3 CJZ, VA3 NCA. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening, everybody on net. Actually, I guess I should say Happy New Year to you and everybody on net. Hope everybody's holidays are wrapping up nicely. And yeah, I don't know. I did a little bit of, as far as radio goes, apparently the band conditions were horrible, and I guess that's what I was seeing too. I guess I picked the wrong time to do a little bit of antenna work on my wire. Swapped out the balun for a different type and redid the way I hung the wire. Anyways, long story medium is that then I had no way to really test it because the band conditions were so horrible. I wasn't making any contacts until our friend Vanya there came to the rescue and set up a POTA site just across the valley from me, and I had a strong signal from him. So at least for getting from one side of Dundas to the other, my new horizontal wire is doing that. So I guess I'll have to hold up on passing judgment on it until the space weather gets better. Anyways, not jealous, but happy 2025 to AREG and to everybody else. And here's to 52 more weeks of AREG for this year. Back to you there, Chuck.
Absolutely there, Wade. Well, I can't tell you at least a handful of times where I've wanted to test out something different or something new related to the radio setup, whether it be an antenna, balun, wire, what have you. Um, and you find out the conditions took a crash, and so you got to wait, a couple days before conditions return to quote normal conditions. But yeah, I hate when that happens. You fix something or you want to try something, and uh, there are forces that, that prevent you from getting the proper measurements or testing. But yeah, I'm sure you'll do just fine. Anyways, well, thanks for checking in, Wade. Are you listening on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm doing both. So I'm picking up the stations that I can't hear on the air with YouTube, and then I'm on the air when I can. So my headphones come off when when you called me there because otherwise I get that slight delay and it's kind of messes with your head. So headphones come off when I went on the air, and I'll put them back on to pick up the rest of the folks in just a moment there. But yeah, I think either the sun has a sense of humor or is a jerk. I'm not sure which one, but I remember the time that it affected me the strongest was actually when I went out. I was away for a conference, and I had brought my little portable kit, and I wanted to do a POTA and a SOTA on out there in California. And we had a solar storm on that day, just that day, of course. And man, I struggled for that activation, but I managed to eke out the 10 contacts I needed just barely. And it helped that Simon, if you remember Simon, VA7DIX, he's the YouTuber out in BC. Anyways, him and another person were doing a twofer just north of me in BC, and I was able to pick him up. He was worth 4 of my 10 contacts that I eked out, so that helped me a lot. Anyways, yeah, the sun, when it's cooperating, it's great. When it's not, it's horrible. But anyways, I'll let you pick up a few more people. I've taken enough time on the first round here. I will be And listen along to the first AREG of the year. Thanks again. Back to you, BA3NCA.
Okay, very good, Wade. Well, always a pleasure. I missed you. What was it on Monday night? There, were you busy?
Yeah, Monday. I came down with a big headache, and I ended up going to bed. And the next time I woke up, it was I don't know, 10 o'clock or something, just enough to ruin my sleep cycle. There, I could hardly go back to bed. But earlier on in the evening, I just was not. I don't know what it was, maybe change in the weather or something. But I missed I missed that, and I also missed yesterday too. So I got to make up for it today.
Okay, very good. Well, as long as you're, uh, you know, feeling better, it's just a temporary thing. Okay, very good, Mac. Thanks for checking in as usual, and I want to thank all our YouTube check-ins tonight. As I mentioned previously, I do stream the net on YouTube, so people that can't hear other stations can do so through the YouTube stream. You will be able to hear what I can hear. And so far, we've got, well, Wade, who was just on VA3NCA. And we also have Wayne, uh, VA3FMB in Mississauga. And locally, we've got Noel, VE3 Kilo Delta Tango, along with VA3RUA. And Brian is also checked in on YouTube, VE3XBW. And Mark, Steve's friend, VA3MHV. Welcome, one and all, and Happy New Year to everybody. And so, with that, let's see who else is out there would like to check in with us here on January the 1st, 2025.
V3RWJ.
All right, I picked up two stations there. We got CRF and RWJ. Let's bring in Vern on the portable. VA3 Charlie Romeo Foxtrot. A little weak there, Vern, but I can hear you.
Okay, Chuck, thanks. I was going to ask you if you could talk with me. Quite a lot, 0 degrees. But not a bad evening. And nothing, no ice, no snow, nothing on the sidewalks, which is nice for a change.
Yeah, Christmas is over, so we can go straight into summer. Uh, that's how a lot of people feel. Bring us some white stuff for December 25th, and then after that, go ahead and start summer.
Yeah, that was
Okay, Vern. You were getting a little bit of static coming in there with you that last time, but very good then. Happy New Year to you and your family, and always a pleasure to hear you, Vern. Enjoy your walk. Yes, plus 2 degrees. They're saying by 9 o'clock we should hit zero, and it looks like we won't hit zero or plus for some time now after tonight. So enjoy it, Vern. Thanks again, buddy. So we'll clear with VA3, Charlie Romeo Fox, and say hello to Chris in Ancaster, VE3RWJ. Come on in, Chris.
Hello, Chuck. Hope you had a great Christmas. I didn't do much for New Year's last night. In fact, I missed midnight. I was asleep. So hope nothing too momentous happened. I woke up right after midnight, though. Someone nearby was setting off fireworks, so I heard those. Anyway, not much else to report, and I'm just listening along on the stream. VA3CJZ, V3RWJ.
All right, very good, Chris. Thank you so much for checking in. And by the way, thanks for letting me know about that buzzing sound. That was a external sound card that I use for bringing the audio into my laptop. I don't normally use it when I'm not streaming on YouTube. I usually have an external speaker that I use that I plug into the radio. But this other plug-in I use, it goes straight into a sound card, and either the sound card or the USB hub was giving me issues, and so I just used a new USB hub and a new cable going into the external sound card. Otherwise, people would have to try and pick up the external sound out of the radio, which is not good when you're streaming. You want sound going straight into the computer source, right?
Yeah, well, you're sounding good over the air right now. I don't hear any buzz anymore, so that must have fixed it. Always fun trying to figure these things out. It could be just about anything. But I have local noise right now, so you're not full quieting to me because I have some local interference. Hoping to get a beam up in a couple of weeks' time, weather permitting, schedule permitting, and I'm going to see if that helps me beat some of the noise. If I can just turn the beam and null out whatever it is. Back to you, V3RWJ.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm not at full strength, but I mean, I should be giving out a fairly strong signal here with 30 watts going out, and you're actually you're almost full scale here. You're about 40 out of 60 on my scale, and so really nice signal there, Chris. Anyhow, thanks for checking in. Much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and we'll be sure to tune in on either one of your nets, usually at 7:30 on Wednesdays, with for the Burlington Amateur Radio Club on the RSB repeater at 7:30, and then again, what is it? Monday nights, yeah, Monday nights on the Sounds Good Net at 8 o'clock on the RSB repeater. And that was my first time there on Monday, and of course, on the last net of the year, but I made it in there, and so I look forward to checking in with you again, Chris. Thanks again. All right, I think that's the end of my list. Do we have anyone else out there wishing to check in on New Year's Day 2025 for the Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3CJZ.
V3TTO.
Echo 3, Kilo Delta Tango.
Okay, heard two stations there, TTO and Kilo Delta Tango. Your audio is very, very low. I don't know what's going on there, but maybe you can work on that. Let's bring in Gary, VE3TTO. Gary, Happy New Year.
V3TTO here. Happy New Year to everybody on net there. And looks like it was a bit rainy up here today. And what can I say? New Year, new ideas, new stuff coming in. What can you do for the new year? What type of resolution can you make? Just be fair to everybody, I guess. That's about it. Over.
Yeah, absolutely there, Gary. Well, 2024 has brought in a lot of new newly licensed ham for the Hamilton area, so that's very promising. We keep getting new people joining the hobby, and that's very encouraging. And so we can, help out as best as we can with new and even experienced hams. Of course, we help everyone out, and so yeah, that's my amateur radio resolution.
Yeah, Roger on here. I'd like to teach a course again this year. I don't know if that's feasible there. If you have enough people there and that. I know the last time we did it, Marty, myself, and down at West Hill there, that was fun there for 16 weeks. But, it's it's trying to get people together and make sure they show up every week too. But maybe it'll happen this year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, let us know um, what happens there, and we can always try and send people your way.
Okay, Roger on that there. Anyway, all the best there, and we'll see what happens in the new year. And I'll tell you, like this year was a strange year for me there because of my situation, and it's getting back to normal there. And 2025 will probably be a better year there. So, anyway, you take care, and all the best for the season there. And did you get any nice toys for Christmas?
Well, the toys. Well, let's see now. I bought stuff before Christmas to myself because I knew my wife doesn't know what I want, and so it just yeah, what do you call that? Self pleasure, but in a different kind of way, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I know. Sometimes you got to do that because they don't understand. Okay, I'll let you go there. You have a great day there and a great New Year and all the best there. And I was talking to Reggie there earlier there, and he's doing well. And I know with Reg there, his net's been going on for a long time too, just like yours. Over.
Absolutely, yeah. Reggie started right around the same time. I think a little bit after John did, and he went on. Gosh, well, how many? He's up to 1,100 weeks or something like that now. So he's getting up there, and I'll have to try and check in on Friday nights and at 8 o'clock there to say hi to Reggie in Australia.
Yeah, Roger there. Okay, you take care, all the best, and we'll be in touch. Victor Echo 3, Tango Tango Oscar.
Okay, very good, Gary. Thank you so much. All right, so let's bring in Noel, VE3 Kilo Delta Tango.
Good evening. Hope the audio is a little bit better. I was testing out the crossband repeat on my radio, and I guess it failed, so I just ran up here and shut it off.
Okay, well, I could hear you, but like I said, it sounded like you were holding a handheld microphone too far away from your mouth there. Those things you pretty almost have to kiss those things while you're talking on them. Uh, s- uh, Many of them, if you don't have an optional mic gain in the software turned up, then you just get the stock audio out of the handheld. And a lot of people treat handheld radios like a handheld microphone, which they're totally different. The handheld microphones, you can be 6, 8 inches away, and if you do that with a handheld, it's going to give you low audio. So test it out again and just be closer if you are using a handheld for the crossband, which I'm assuming, and try it out again.
Okay, thanks for the advice. I'll switch it back on when I'm done here, and that way, if I don't know if you're doing your trivia or something else, and you want to jump in, I will try it back on the crossband. But yeah, and I think you were also mentioning something about your when you're talking about your sound card there. What's the other thing? Sounds like you have a very similar or interesting setup, audio-wise and computer-wise, that I do. Most of my stuff's actually in the basement, and I'm using hybrid optical cables to get all my stuff upstairs. But that means I got an external sound card, and I was running into issues every time I turn on my 710. The grounding or whatever else would reset the entire USB hub.
Yeah. I've run into trouble with USB hubs and sound cards before. They wear out, I guess. The contacts or something, but sometimes you just power your equipment on and something is failing, or something goes out of whack, it's weird. You don't necessarily have to be touching or moving anything, and it just does it on its own, and then you got to trace it back to where the problem is. So yeah, I've got external sound cards here. I've got a mixer, a sound mixer, and everything is uh, radio related. So I'm really happy when people tell me there's a weird sound. That way I can trace it back and fix it. Otherwise, I don't hear it over here, so I can't really rectify anything unless I, you know, turn another radio on and key up and see what the heck's going on. But I have to know about it first. But anyways, yeah, Noel, I'll let you go and turn your crossband back on and speak closer to your microphone in the handheld. And yeah, just break in whenever there's an opening there. So we'll break with Noel VE3KDT, and I'm looking for check-ins for the New Year's Eve or New Year's evening, New Year's Day, AREG. This is VA3 CJZ.
Victor Echo 3, Lima Bravo, India.
He's way too early.
It's my New Year's resolution.
You made me look at the clock there, Mac. I thought we were further along, but no, we're not. Larry, come on in. VE3LBI. Happy New Year.
Yep, Happy New Year. That's what I said with my New Year's resolution.
There you go. Doesn't matter, Larry. As long as you have a couple of minutes to spare, check in, say hi. That's all good.
Oh no, we're here for the duration now. So, I take the young fellow to the doctor today. He's got an ear infection. So, unfortunately, one of the clinics, the doctor looks after outside hours from our doctor. So, went there, got him some medications.
Oh, the grandson or the four-legged little guy?
No, grandson.
Yeah. I remember having ear infections as a kid. We had drops, and oh yeah.
He gave him drops. He just gave him some, something. Take it internally or whatever, some type of medication. Of course, the problem was trying to find a drugstore open. The shoppers. We went to the one over here, quite close to my place, and didn't have any of the medication left. But fortunately, they were phoned around to one of the other shoppers. We found some, so we drove over there and picked it up for them.
Oh, okay, very good. Now, my next question is, your puppy. How's he doing?
Oh, good, no problems. That dew claw healed up really well, so he's out there sprinting around again. Everybody won't believe he's coming up to be 6 years old. He's just like a pup. He's just watch him again tonight. Got his it's an orange ball hard that we got for him, and he pounces at it. Like he just kind of jumps up at it and pounces at this thing.
Oh, that's cute. I know. I've been watching some videos online there, and there's one I just saw today where a black lab, which is what I had, comes running into the living room to the tree, the Christmas tree, and there's a present there for the dog, and it proceeds to go right to the present. It knows which one it is, and starts ripping the paper off. And of course, there's a giant stuffed animal in there, and he's happy as can be. And so that's it's neat. Another one I like to watch is these shelters for animals. They lay out all these stuffed animals in a line in a gym or a big room, and then they'll let the pups come in one at a time, and the pup goes through the line and he picks out the toy that he likes, or she.
I don't think I've ever seen that one. Oh, by the way, Matt, congratulations on your 4,000.
Much appreciated. Yep, maybe 4,500 by the end of this year. Who knows?
Yep. No, I just happened to spotted that on the Discord. So very good for you. That's excellent. And I think you got that before the actual end of the year, so that's even better. Anyways, no, other than that, made a loaf of bread today, and we made homemade Chinese for yesterday, and we finished the rest of it off tonight for supper.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Larry, I heard you mention an Iron Chef restaurant. Is that right?
Yeah, the Iron Chef restaurant over on Lime Ridge and Upper Sherman. Um, I was in there actually to pick stuff up, and I could see where they make their money, especially around Christmas time. There was a table there, or two tables. There must have been 20 people, all one family in there, and there were still people coming in. So quite busy. But I think the New Year's, a lot of people order Chinese food and have it delivered or pick it up. So I think it gets quite busy at that time.
Yeah, the one thing I can say I know for sure since the pandemic, restaurant businesses have picked up quite a bit. And that's not just for sit down restaurant, but that's for takeout and delivery as well. Renata works at a Swiss Chalet, and I mean, they've got, I don't know, 7 different food delivery, DoorDash, and all those things. Plus, Swiss Chalet has their own delivery service. And so, they've really maximized um, the chances of you buying something from them easier than it was previously.
I've never used them, but what is the normal cost for Skip Your Dishes or whoever for delivery for something? Anybody, do you know what it is? I have no idea. We've never used them.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure what the cost is for delivery. I'll have to ask Renata what they charge, and then you just tack on another couple extra dollars because um, otherwise they have to be competitive. I don't think it's one standard price, but yeah, I'll check.
Yep, somebody else has had a delivery from. I don't know whether it's like $10 for the meal and $5 for delivery, kind of a standard thing. I have no idea. Like I say, we've never used them. Anytime we've normally ordered stuff, we've gone and picked it up. So, anyways, see if anybody else has left in there that wants to get into the net tonight. I'll listen along, Chuck.
All right. Well, let's ask Larry. Has anyone used those delivery services there? Skip the Dishes, DoorDash, and do you have a price, a delivery price attached with that? Does anyone know?
VE3ZJC.
Ah, there's a guy. VE3ZJC. Jason, come on in.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on net. You can count me as a check-in as well. And yeah, I have used Skip and Uber Eats and all that stuff in the past. You'll find that the retail price listed on the delivery apps is typically 5 to 7% higher than what you'd find if you actually went to the restaurant yourself. And then there's anywhere from a $2 to $6, maybe $7 delivery charge on top of that, and then you've got to tip your driver, or you get negative rep on the app, and then nobody wants to deliver to your house. But that's typically the way it goes. So I would just factor in you're going to spend another 10 to 15% more on the delivery for the exact same things versus picking it up yourself.
Ah, okay. Well, there you go, Larry. You and I know a little bit more about that now. So there you have it. Very good, Jason. Well, thanks for that. I have a neighbor here, and I rarely see her. And she has everything I mean, she even has her groceries are delivered. Uh, she has lunch from McDonald's. That gets delivered. Um, and all the other food she gets. Yeah, she doesn't ever go to the store. And they have a car, her and her boyfriend, and they have a car. It sits in the driveway, and people just deliver. So I guess they got money.
Yep, absolutely. You got to have some disposable income to have everything delivered to you. Yeah, I know. I've had the groceries delivered during the pandemic and paid the premium. I've had food delivered and paid the premium just because of convenience. But normally, if I'm ordering out, we'll either go pick it up myself, order online, go pick it up. I got 2 cars here, and yeah, the wife is usually more than happy to go and pick it up.
Yeah. Well, I'm not stupid. I know deliveries obviously has a charge. The days of getting free delivery are pretty much gone everywhere. So I just don't get it. But then again, you have these younger adults crying that they can't afford a down payment on a house, and then you add up all these extra charges that they do on a daily basis, and it's almost as if the younger generation, they need a financial advisor in order to keep their budget in line, because uh, there are so many things that people pay extra for. It baffles my mind there, Jason.
You've got me genuinely chuckling here. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, my friend, and I have had the exact same conversation with both of my children. One of them got the message, and the other one was a little slow on the uptake. But when you've got everything being delivered to your house and you're partaking in things that require some extra disposable income, if you follow the train there, and then you cry poor to your old man, and come asking for a little help here and there. I'm more than happy to help, but there's a lesson in here, folks, and or at least for my children, it's I don't know what to say, my friend. It's I've had those conversations. It's definitely an interesting one. I'll send it back to you, sir. I want to hold it up here, and we'll see if you get some more check-ins. VE3 is ZJC, back to net. Thanks for doing it, my friend.
Okay, Jason, very good then. Yeah, and and then you got alcohol, which costs a fortune now. I thank goodness I don't drink anymore. And then of course you've got uh, the cannabis products. Those aren't cheap either, and so people are buying them like it's Friday night. Spend $100 here, $100 there, and it's like, okay, I'm broke now. So yeah, people got to be mindful, and yeah, it must be because we're getting older. Every time I turn the light switch on, I know, oh, that's using power. That costs money. Oh, you're running the water. That's costing money. So yeah. Anyways, Jason, thanks for checking in. Much appreciated, sir. All the best to you and the missus. And so, with that, let's see if there's anyone else out there wishing to check in with us here on January the 1st, 2025, for the Amateur Radio Exchange Group.
VA3XLJ.
VA3XLJ. Vanya, come on in.
Good afternoon, Chuck, and it's not afternoon, it's night, and everybody on net. So I'm gonna give you a quick check-in. I still have to go upstairs and finish my cooking. Everyone seems to be a little bit restless because I start cooking dinner a little bit later today. I slept in, and I didn't want to leave the house when I supposed to, and we left fairly late to activate the park today. And by the time when I got here, it took a little longer to prepare the food, but within 10 minutes we're gonna be up on the table, and we're gonna have a dinner. So wife, she just came from work a little while ago, so she's waiting patiently so far. That's a good. Activated the park today. I have this disease took over me, it's still there.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling bad as I was like a couple of days ago or whatnot, but it seems to be leaving very, very slowly. So I guess tomorrow is a back to work day. So and we're gonna go there and see how the thing goes. So other than that, there is not much on my end. So how's Chuck doing?
Yeah, Vanya. Well, I can tell you still have symptoms there, and for me, it's been a long, lingering virus of some sort. I didn't get as nasally as some of the people like you there, but definitely have been having symptoms for a couple of weeks now, and I feel like I'm on the tail end of it. So, yeah, looking forward to going out for some walks and get some exercise. And that's going to have to be one of my resolutions this year. A little bit more exercise there. So, okay. Well, thank you so much for checking in, Vanya. Much appreciated, sir. And all the best this year.
Yeah, all the best to you, Chuck, and everyone who is listening. So I'm gonna head upstairs, and with a little bit of the luck, like maybe I can rejoin back again by the tail end of the net. So 7-3, guys, and all the best in New Year for all of you.
Okay, Vanya. Thank you so much. Now, before I do another call out, I just had a thought come into my head here. I know I was asked a few weeks ago, a couple, 2, 3 weeks ago, to promote a repeater, a new repeater in town that belongs to Huey, VE3DJZ. That's also the name of his repeater. And I believe it's located on a tall building downtown. And you can find Huey. It does DMR and FM. It's on 70 centimeters, and the frequency is 442.412.50. So 442.412.50, and the tone is 131.8. In and out, like Huey says. And so give Huey a shout. And you'll need a special code, I think, to get into the DMR. You can ask him for that code, and the repeater apparently does both. So once again, Huey's new repeater, VE3DJZ, you can find him on Repeater Book, actually. If you go to Repeater Book, you can get all the info there. And so now that's out of the way. I do apologize, Huey, for not remembering last week or the week before, if you're listening. But there you have it. And so drop in and say hi to Huey. He's lonely and he's always monitoring that band. Sorry, that frequency, I'm pretty sure. So with that, let's see. It's 8:52 p.m. We're slowly dropping in temperature. And do we have any other check-ins for tonight's AREG? Please come now.
Recheck PE3LBI.
Okay, Larry, recheck. Go ahead.
Yeah, just a friendly reminder. When we get these noisy things that happen to us on some of the bands when we're trying to do the nets and stuff, please do not say anything towards them. All you do is promote them to carry on. If we ignore them, they will go away. It's happened a couple times now, and the best bet is just don't say anything and just carry on and like they don't exist, and they do disappear.
Yes, that's very good advice there, Larry. It's the best advice, actually. I know Terry came on the ZOE repeater the other day because someone was commenting on the lid at that time, and Terry came on and said, "Don't say anything about them. Don't talk to them. Don't engage them." And like you said, they will finally get bored and see that no one wants to engage them, and they will leave. So, very good advice, Larry. Thank you.
Yep, not a problem. Okay, carry on.
All right, very good. We want to do a little bit of trivia. Let me see now. First, I'm going to check the live stream, see if there are any messages there. Wade said it seems complicated. I think I'll just cook my own meals. I think we were talking about deliveries and that there. So, Jeff also is in there saying hello. Good evening, Jeff from Stony Creek border. Welcome to the net, as well as Michael, VA3. What was that? Q Queen Alpha Charlie QAC. Michael, thank you for joining us and welcome. And so, with that, let's jump over and we got a little bit of fun trivia here. I don't have multiple answers on this one, but I thought it was a cute one. We'll start with that. First of all, I'm going to check and see if Noel VE3KT is there, and if he got the crossband going yet. All right, nothing heard. So let's move on. You know the dogs called pugs? What is a group of pugs called? Does anyone know? Does anyone have pugs?
Comment.
I think that's called a nuisance.
It's the little dog from Men in Black, if I'm not mistaken. There is a comment in there with low audio. Go ahead there, Noel.
Yeah, V3 KDT. Yeah, I was following along on the YouTube, so by the time you called me out, I picked up the radio and turned the volume back up. You're like, oh, nothing heard. So I'm here.
Okay, very good. Well, your audio did come up a little bit there. It's a lot easier to hear everything you're saying, Noel, and so your crossband is working just fine.
Well, thanks for that. I am practically eating it, like you said, and yeah, so I'll just continue following along. Sorry.
Okay, not a problem. Don't be sorry. It's all good. I don't mind people commenting or throwing questions out there. It's all good. All right. Any other questions or comments or answers for what is a group of pugs called? It's called a grumble. A group of pugs is called a grumble. All right. Which U.S. president had a pet alligator that he kept in a White House bathtub? You gotta go back a few years for this one. It's John Quincy Adams. If you were an American, you might know that. Let's go to the next one. Do identical twins have identical fingerprints? Anyone? I think that was WPG, but you're barely making it in there. If you could increase your power or something, let's try that again.
How about now?
How about now is much better there. Chris, go ahead.
Over on the vertical, I'm saying no to that question. No. Fingerprint.
Okay. Yeah, that's correct. The answer is no. Not one fingerprint is the same. Doesn't matter if you have the same DNA as someone else. The answer is no. Every fingerprint is unique, and that's how they convict people to go to prison. Although there have been some mixes, some questions about DNA involving twins, but fingerprints is a definite no. Okay, what is the original full name of Los Angeles? Now, remember, Los Angeles used to belong to Mexico. So it's a Spanish name. This is a tough one. I don't expect anyone to know this. But, oh, by the way, did you know that Mexico's full name is the United States of Mexico? That's the official name for Mexico. And so the official name for Los Angeles is, get ready for this, El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora de la Reina de Los Angeles de Porciuncula. Don't say that 3 times fast. All right, we all know what the smallest country in the world is, right?
Vatican City.
Absolutely. Boy, I would love to go in their basement and check out their stuff there.
I'd rather shop in Garnett's basement.
Yeah, go shopping in Garnett's basement. Yeah. All right. Does anyone know how much does the heart of a blue whale weigh? How much is the weight of a blue whale?
They're known as heavy-hearted.
400 pounds worth. That's how much their heart weighs. Here's one Wade would know. What is the real name of the hashtag?
The ampersand.
No, it's the pound key, and it does have a name, but yeah, I don't recall now. But it's the pound.
Right, I meant the pound. Okay. The name for it is called Octothorpe. The Octothorpe.
VA3WPG, I would have called it the pound as well.
Octothorpe is also the what do they call it? When a sports team has a mascot, that's the word I'm looking for. It's the mascot for a well-known piece of software called GitHub and or Git. I don't recall now. Anyways, it's the Octothorpe. Yes, indeed. All right. Thanks, Chuck. Good question.
All right, all right. I've got a couple more in the on this day. By the way, we have quite the list for on this day because January 1st throughout history has a lot of stuff. But we'll get that in. We'll get to that in a little bit. In what European country is it illegal to own just one guinea pig? Switzerland. It's considered animal abuse to own a single guinea pig because they are very social creatures, so you must own two or more. Just be careful if you're putting a male and a female together. I'll tell you, things will multiply. And then after that, you have to separate the males from the females after they give birth because the males want the females um, to go and heat again. And so they will get rid of the babies. So you have to separate them. That's with rodents, anyways. All right, here's an interesting one. Is an avocado a fruit or a vegetable?
I know it tastes like something particular.
It's a seed-bearing unit, which makes it a fruit.
Absolutely. That's right. I think we went through this once before. They're very good. Here's an interesting one. Another animal question. What animal has striped skin in addition to striped fur? That's the tiger, like the Bengal tiger and that. Those stripes, the fur and the skin are black. So if you were to shave them, you would see black stripes on them. All right. What was? Oh yeah, I read. What was it on Dan Aykroyd's TV show there? Unbelievable. He talked about a chicken living for what is it? A year without a head. Apparently, yeah. I guess you'd have to feed it though, somehow. But that's crazy. Okay. How long can sloths hold their breath? This is crazy. How long can a sloth hold its breath? And Wade, Wade advises against trying to shave tigers. That's good advice there, Wade. All right, where was I? I lost the page. Nope. Hang on, I got it right here. So the question was, how long can a sloth hold its breath? 40 minutes. That's insane. Those things move so slow. It's crazy. All right. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 countries that have national anthems that have no words. Can you name one of them? Countries with anthems that have no words.
And the streets have no names.
No, Wade, Russia does have words to their anthem. They sing it quite loudly and proudly. I'll give you the answer. It's Spain, Bosnia and Herzegovina. I guess that's one country. And Kosovo also, and San Marino. So that's 4 countries. I'm sorry. Uh, yeah, Spain, Bosnia, Herzegovina, Kosovo, and San Marino.
I was going to say Iran, so I would have been wrong, BA3WPG.
That's right. And it's pronounced Iran, not Iran. It's not Iraq. If you speak to someone from there, they'll tell you it's Iraq or Iran. It's E, not I. A lot of Americans have been butchering that name for years, and that's why we do the same now. The strongest muscle in the human body. What's the strongest muscle in the human body? Anyone?
The tongue, said JC.
Tongue, WPG.
That's what she said.
I concur.
You have such a strong tongue, mister. Actually, it's called the masseter, of which there is one on each side of your jaw. So it's a jaw muscle. The masseter, spelled Masseter. All right. How many bones do sharks have?
None.
No, not nuns, sharks.
They're all cartilage, no bones.
Second on the cartilage, WPG.
Yeah, there's no bones in a shark. Interesting. All right. What happens to bugs that get trapped in a Venus flytrap? Does anyone know?
They get dissolved.
BA3WPG, they get dissolved in some kind of liquid or acid. I can't remember. They did get dissolved, I think.
Yes. Here's the full answer. Once the trap closes, it creates a seal so that prey can't escape and bacteria can't get in. Then the prey is digested in the trap with the plant's enzymes. So it's the enzymes that break down the bug. Very good, guys.
Enzymes, that's the word I was looking for.
Nuns are all cartilage. Wade, how do you know that? What is the animal with the most horns? Oh, well, no one would know that. It's a dinosaur. I'll give you the answer. It's a Cosmoceratops, a dinosaur that had 15 horns. Interesting. Who holds the record for the farthest throw of a washing machine? Who holds the record for washing machine throwing? Johan Espenkrona. Must sound Swedish or something. Bulgarian, maybe. What's that country that has the wives carry the husbands in the race there? I don't know if you've ever heard of that. I think it's Estonia, where the women carry the husbands in a race. What type of whale is actually a dolphin? That's right, Wade. The killer whale, also known as the orca. It's part of the dolphin family. All right. I don't know if anybody's ever participated in a food eating competition, but here's a question. When is Nathan's famous international hot dog eating contest held every year? When is it? Give me the month if you know. Get people eating like 75 hot dogs with the bun. Oh, it's crazy. It's July 4th. On July 4th, they have a big hot dog eating competition in the States. What sport has been played on the moon?
Golf.
Sounds logical, right? And that is the answer. Someone brought a golf club and ball on the moon, I guess. That's weird. All right. In what state is it illegal to carry an ice cream cone in your back pocket on a Sunday? What state is it illegal to carry an ice cream cone in your back pocket on a Sunday? Poor kids getting arrested in Georgia. That's where that's where it's illegal. What is a group of unicorns called? That's a good one.
Imagination, VA3WPG.
Extinct.
Oh, before the answer, Wade says that Alan Shepard brought the golf ball and club to the moon. Huh. Wonder if he took that on the carry-on. All right. The answer for the group of unicorns is called a blessing or a marvel. Very interesting. All right. Let me find one another one here. What is noteworthy about the reproductive system of a male snake? What is noteworthy? Oh, okay. Anyone know anything about snakes?
I believe there's two of them.
Yes. Snakes have two penises. All righty then. So we'll put a bow on the trivia. Hope you enjoyed that. Do we have any questions or comments or check-ins for this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group for January 1st, 2025? And yes, Wade, they are internal. All right, so that brings us to on this day, and we are at week 201. 201 weeks that on this day has been with the AREG net. Let's start with famous birthdays on January 1st. We'll start with Paul Revere. Paul Revere was born on this day in 1735. The British are coming. The British are coming. He was an American silversmith and patriot who alerted the colonial militia to the approach of British forces before the battles of Lexington and Concord. And he was born in Boston, Massachusetts. Here's another famous American. Betsy Ross was born on this day, 1752. American seamstress, widely credited with making the first American flag, born in Gloucester City, colony of New Jersey. Now, there was some debate. There's no real proof that she made the first flag, but that's what they're saying. So there you go. Next is a gentleman named Benjamin Holt, born in 1849. He was an American businessman who started the company Holt Manufacturing and later Caterpillar. And he was the inventor of the crawler type tread tractor. Say that 3 times fast. Born in Concord, New Hampshire. He died in 1920. Next, born on this day in 1857, Charles C. Berger, American inventor who coined the term escalator and designed the first commercially produced escalator. And he was born in Iowa, passed away in 1931. Next, born on January 1st, J. Edgar Hoover. In 1895, he was the first director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Get this, from 1924 to 1972, almost 50 years, 48 years, he was the head of the FBI. Imagine all the secrets he had. He had some of his own, too. Word is he was gay, and yeah, that was a secret. And next, we've got Jimmy Hart, born on this day, 1943. Jimmy Hart is an American pro wrestling manager. If you've ever watched WWF, you've seen this scrawny guy with a mustache and a mini goatee. He was a manager in WWF, WCW, and he managed Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, Ted DiBiase, and Jim Neidhart. Born in Jackson, Mississippi. Apparently, he's still under contract. He's like 80 something, 82 years old. So crazy.
Jimmy Hart, the mouth of the South with the megaphone, BA3 WPG.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He almost sounds like a used car salesman. All right. Born in 1945, Gail Zappa. That's Frank Zappa's wife. Her maiden name is Sloatman, Sloatman, Sloatman. Gail Zappa was an American business secretary and wife of musician and composer Frank Zappa, born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and she died in 2015. And so that's my last entry for Born on this day, January 1st. And do we have any questions or comments or people wishing to check into our net? Please come now.
Just a quick comment, VA3WPG. Jimmy Hart was also the manager for the tag team, the Mega Powers, which was the tag team of Macho, Savage, and Hulk Hogan, the Mega Powers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't remember all the... I used to watch him for years, but actually I watched him since I was a kid. And then took a break and started watching it again when my daughter was born. All right. Thanks, Chris. Who died today in history? I won't go through back into 2,000 years ago. Let's start with Hank Williams. He died on this day in 1953. An American country singer songwriter. You might remember Cold, Cold Heart, or Hey Good Looking, or Your Cheating Heart. Dies of an alcohol and painkiller fueled heart attack at the age of 29. All right, dying on this day in 1992, Grace Hopper. She was an American computer scientist and U.S. Navy admiral who invented the first compiler for a universal computer programming language and is credited with coining the phrase debugging. Dies at the age of 85. Next, we've got Cesar Romero, dying in 1994. He's an American actor. You might remember him as the Joker on the original Batman series. He's been in several movies, of course. He was in Ocean's 11 as well. When he was when he died, he was 86 years old. I actually met and had a cigarette with Frank Gorshin, the guy who played the Riddler. When I worked at the Royal Connaught Hotel, he was doing a stand-up comedy show at Yuck Yucks. If anybody remembers Yuck Yucks, they're in the basement of the Royal Connaught Hotel. Nice guy, very nice guy. Next, we've got Donna Douglas, dying in 2015. You might know her as Ellie Mae Clampett. And she was 82 years old, died of pancreatic cancer in 2015. And finally on my list, we have, in 2019, George, the last Hawaiian tree snail of his kind, dies at the University of Hawaii, aged 14. So there you go. George died in 2019. That's it for people dying on January the 1st that I found famous enough to put on my list. Any questions or more comments or check-ins, please come now.
CA?
VA3 NCA. Wade, come on in.
Oh, VA3 CJZ, VA3 NCA. Yeah, that thing you mentioned there about Grace Hopper, Admiral Grace Hopper, and being the inventor of the COBOL compiler, common business-oriented language compiler. The other thing that she's known for is really putting concepts into ways that the people around her could understand. And so she had somebody in the military make her a nanosecond. They were talking about these machines that were working in time frames of nanoseconds, and people couldn't really visualize that. So somebody made her a strip of wire that was about a foot long, and that is the visual representation of how long a signal would take to travel a length of wire in 1 nanosecond. So it's about a foot, and she had somebody on her team make her one, and she would carry that around to put these concepts into people's minds. Anyways, so yeah, interesting person for sure. Back to you.
All right, very good. I thought I'd put that on my list just because I know there's some computer literate folks here that are knowledgeable about people and computer things there. So thanks, Wade. All right, let's go to today's historical events, and we'll start with the Julian calendar. In the year 45 BC, the Julian calendar takes effect for the first time by edict of Roman dictator Julius Caesar. We'll have more on that a little later. And then in the year 404, not BC, but AD, the very last gladiator competition was held in Rome in the year 404, the very last one. couple of hundred years later, in the year 630, the Prophet Muhammad, the Muslim prophet Muhammad, sets out with an army of 10,000 strong to conquer Mecca. That's all there is on that. And then in the year 990, Russia adopts the Julian calendar. But then Gregory conquers Julius Caesar in 1583, the first day of the Gregorian calendar in Holland and Flanders. And that was the start of the Gregorian calendar, which is what we use to this day. It's back in 1583. Next, we've got the Fahrenheit scale. In 1724, glass blower Daniel Gabriel Fahrenheit proposes a system for making thermometers and the Fahrenheit temperature scale in a paper at the Royal Society of London, and is then elected as a fellow on this basis. Fellow is just a fancy word for a scholar who's recognized, I think. And then let's go to 1739. French explorer Jean-Baptiste Charles Bouvet de Lozier discovers the uninhabited Bouvet Island, the world's most remote island, which is near Antarctica. Did not know that. More French explorers now. The year is 1743. French explorers Louis-Joseph and François de la Vérendrye are the first Europeans to reach the foot of the Rocky Mountains at the Yellow River, having crossed the Great Plains. That name Vérendrye is familiar for me in French history. All right, the very first traveler's checks. Guess when those came out? In 1772, the first traveler's checks go on sale in London and can be used in 90 European cities. Now, that makes me think about the Knights Templar. They pretty much invented the very first banking system in the world, and they used a similar thing to traveler's checks. So let's say they would start off in Rome, and they wanted to go to Jerusalem, to the holy site, and to keep from highway bank robbery or highway robbery on your trip, so they wouldn't rob you blind. You had what was called a sort of a traveler's check, whereas when you came upon a certain city that recognizes the Templars, you would go and say, okay, I want to cash in, 50 gold coins or whatever. And 1772, eh? Wow. All right, the year is 1797, January 1st. Albany replaces New York City as capital of New York. A lot of people don't know this, but the capital of the state of New York is not New York City. It is, in fact, Albany. In the year 1800, on January 1st, the Dutch East Indies Company dissolves, one of the largest trading companies in the world, the Dutch East Indies Company. And then a year later, in 1801, the dwarf planet Ceres, Ceres, is discovered by Italian monk Giuseppe Piazzi. Good for you there, pizza boy. Next, the United Kingdom forms. In 1801, the Irish Parliament votes to join the Kingdom of Great Britain, forming the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. 1801. 1804, Haiti gains independence from France. The French ran that island, making it the only state ever founded by former slaves and without slavery. Haiti. And the official language of Haiti is French, by the way. All right, in 1808, Congress prohibits importation of slaves. At that point, you could still own slaves, but you just could not buy any. And in the same year, 1808, Sierra Leone becomes a British colony. Next, Frankenstein is published. In 1818, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, or also called The Modern Prometheus, is published anonymously by the small London publishing house of Lackington, Hughes, Harding, Maver, and Jones. Wow, 5 guys. So, yeah, Mary Shelley, it's a woman's story, Frankenstein. Also, in 1818, we have the official reopening of the White House. Yes, the White House officially reopened on New Year's Day, 1818. The White House was rebuilt after the British, now the Canadians, burnt it down during the War of 1812. They also responded by burning down some of our Parliament buildings in Ottawa. Or I think one was tit for tat. I don't know which they did first. I can't remember now. And January 1st, 1852, the first United States public bath opens in New York City. Also in 1852, Netherlands begins issuing postage stamps. And a year later, in 1853, we have the first practical fire engine, which is horse-drawn on a wagon in the U.S., enters service. So the first horse-drawn fire engine is in 1853. Okay, 1858 now, January 1st, Canada begins using decimal currency system. The new system was based on the dollar and denominated in cents, 5 cents, 10 cents, and 20 cents. There were no 25 cents, and they were minted in London. Back then, Canada had a 20-cent piece. If you ever have one of those, they're probably worth some money. Well, probably worth more than 20 cents. Because before 1858, Canada was using all kinds of currency from different countries. So it was a mishmash of currency until 1858. And then 4 years later, in 1862, the first United States income tax, that's 3% of income over $600 and 5% of income over $10,000. President Lincoln signed into law a revenue-raising measure to help pay for Civil War expenses. The measure created a Commissioner of Internal Revenue and the nation's first income tax. It levied a 3% tax. I already said that part. So that made me look at the Canadian income tax. And that was in 1917, much later than the U.S., and in 1917, Finance Minister Sir William Thomas White implemented the Income Tax Act to pay for World War I and asked that it should be reviewed after the war. Sadly, Canada has had an income tax ever since. World War I has been over for over 100 years, and we're still paying for it. I wonder if that's when the government first coined the term cash cow. All right. In 1863, the first homestead under the Homestead Act is claimed near Beatrice, Nebraska. Now, we've all heard the term homestead, but the Homestead Act, enacted during the Civil War in 1862, provided that any adult citizen or intended citizen who had never bore arms against the U.S. government could claim 160 acres of surveyed government land. Claimants were required to live on and improve their plot by cultivating the land. 160 acres, that's a nice chunk. (1880) building of the Panama Canal begins. And now we have Donald Trump wanting to take it back from Panama. All right, next we've got Watson meets Holmes. In 1881, January 1st, Dr. John Watson is first introduced to Sherlock Holmes in a story written by none other than Arthur Conan Doyle. January 1st, 1890, the Rose Parade, then known as the Tournament of Roses, is first held in Pasadena, California. Two years later, in 1892, Ellis Island opens as a U.S. immigration inspection station and becomes the gateway to the United States for more than 12 million people. So when the Mayflower came over, they had to stop at Ellis Island, and everybody went through, well, customs, I guess, immigrations. Next, we've got the discovery of X-rays. In 1896, German physicist Wilhelm Röntgen announces his discovery of X-rays. Wonder if he used it on himself. 2 years later, in 1898, Brooklyn merges with New York to form the present-day city of New York. A year later, 1899, Cuba is liberated from Spanish rule by the United States, and the American occupation continues until 1902. That's 3 years. And then in the year 1900, on January 1st, we have compulsory education in the Netherlands goes into effect. So every kid had to go to school. All right, so I mentioned in 1890 we had the Rose Bowl or the Rose Parade, and in 1902 we have the first Rose Bowl. Tournament Park, Pasadena, California. Michigan beats Stanford. These are college or university football games. Also in 1902, Nathan Stubblefield makes the first public demonstration of radio, and that was in Pennsylvania. I wonder if that was AM radio. All right, a lot of stuff about the Netherlands here. In 1906, Dutch law makes a driver's license mandatory. So you had to pass a driver's test, I'm guessing, or at least apply for a license. 1906. Also, 1906, the first permanent movie theater in Canada, the Ouimetoscope, is opened by Leo Ouimet, that's Ouimet, in Montreal, Quebec, the first Canadian permanent movie theater. In 1909, Great Britain, the old age pension law is finally instituted, providing pensions for every British subject over 70 with low income. In 1912, a man named Sun Yat Sen forms the Republic of China. He is known as the father of modern China. A year later, on January 1st, the United States Post Office begins parcel post deliveries. Next, we have T.E. Lawrence joins the Arabs. Now, this is the story of Lawrence of Arabia, as he was later known. In 1917, T.E. Lawrence joins the forces of the Arabian Sheikh Faisal al-Hussein, beginning his adventures that would lead him to Damascus, that's Syria, by October 1918. In 1919, on January 1st, Edsel Ford succeeds his father, Henry Ford, as president of the Ford Motor Company. Later, they would name a car after Edsel Ford called the Edsel. And in 1922, Vancouver, British Columbia starts driving on the right side of the road. Huh. I'm guessing they drove on the left before that. I didn't know that. All right, 1923. The Union of Socialist Soviet Republics is established. We call them USSR for short. It's in 1923. 1934, Alcatraz officially becomes a federal prison. These are all things that happened on January 1st, by the way. Alcatraz was a military installation before it became a prison. Also in 1934, the International Telecommunication Union is established. You know, the ITU. And we have the first Orange Bowl on this day, 1935 now. And then in 1937, safety glass in vehicle windscreens becomes mandatory in the UK. That's why the safety glass, you'll notice a front windshield of a car will shatter into a million pieces for that reason, for safety. You don't want these large shards of glass coming at you in an accident. So they're designed to shatter in many pieces. All right, let's move up ahead a couple of years. 1939, Hewlett Packard is founded by Bill Hewitt and Dave Packard in a garage in Palo Alto, California, the birthplace of Silicon Valley. And as you might know, Australia is experiencing summer right now. And so on January 1st, 1939, Sydney, Australia swelters in 45 degrees Celsius heat. And for Larry, that's 113 Fahrenheit. And that's a record for the city. I think it's since been broken, though. And more stories from the Netherlands. In 1941, the Netherlands begin taxing wages now. And then in 1950, Ho Chi Minh begins the offensive against French troops in Indochina. Now, that's the whole Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos area. And the French were involved way before the Americans uh, entered the fray in Vietnam. This is my favorite here. In 1953, on this day, January 1st, the first TV detector van was used to track down users of unlicensed television sets, and they begin operations in the UK. We've all heard of being tracked while transmitting. Back in the CB days, if you were causing trouble, uh, they would tell you to look out for a van outside your window. Well, there you go. This is in 1953, folks. And why was it illegal? If you had to have your TV licensed, why? All right, 1954, NBC broadcasts the first live color U.S. coast to coast telecast, the Tournament of Roses parade from Pasadena, California. And also in 1954, the Rose and Cotton Bowl are the first sport color casts. January 1st, 1960, Johnny Cash plays the first of many free concerts behind bars at San Quentin Prison, California, with Merle Haggard among the inmates in the audience. Merle Haggard was convicted in 1957 of burglary and sent to Bakersfield Jail and transferred to San Quentin. In 1958, Haggard was transferred to San Quentin after attempting to escape from the Bakersfield Jail. Who knew? 1962, the United States Navy SEALs are established. That's during the Vietnam War. And then in 1966, all U.S. cigarette packs have to carry caution: cigarette smoking may be hazardous to your health. That's back in 66. And then in 1967, the Canadian Amateur Football Association formally becomes successor to Canadian Rugby Football Union. And it turns over the Grey Cup trophy to the CFL. So that's the birth of the CFL. And there you go, 1967. More news for the Netherlands. In 1968, the Netherlands get color TVs. 1971, cigarette advertisements are banned on TV. Now, I remember seeing them at sporting events like racing and stuff like that. You would have cigarettes and booze, beer and liquor. 1975, Sweden adopts its constitution. 1980, the comic strip The Far Side by Gary Larson debuts in the San Francisco Chronicle. I love The Far Side.
Far Side was hilarious, BA3WPG.
Yep. And Herman, too. I liked Herman. All right. In 1983, the TCP/IP protocols become the only approved protocol on the ARPANET, replacing the earlier NCP protocol. And then in 1984, AT&T's 22 owned Bell System companies divests into 8 companies. And then in 1985, the Internet's domain name system is created. I'm thinking that's the .com era. 1993, cigarette advertisements are banned in New York City's MTA, the Metro Transit Authority. And 1995 marks the centennial of the Canadian Mounties' presence in Canada's Yukon Territory. 100 years. And then in 1998, all California bars, clubs, and card rooms must be smoke-free as of 1998. Also, on this day in 1998, the U.S. Census Bureau estimates the U.S. population at 268,921,733. Now, I had to look up what today's population is, and as of January 1st, 2025, the population of the United States is now 346,356,309. 1999, January 1st, the euro currency is introduced. Let's jump to 2018. California becomes the largest U.S. state to legalize cannabis for recreational use. Oddly enough, Canada becomes legal for cannabis at the same time. All right. In 2019, Qatar, the country of Qatar, introduces a 100% tax on alcohol and other health-damaging goods, doubling the price of alcohol, tobacco, energy drinks, and pork in the oil-rich, predominantly Muslim nation. Also, on the very same day, Qatar, that's in 2019, Qatar withdraws from the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, also known as OPEC, after 57 years of membership. And finally, we end with last year on this day, in 2023, Avenger actor Jeremy Renner is accidentally run over by his snowplow, breaking more than 30 bones in his body near Reno, Nevada. Life-altering accident for sure. And so that's it for On This Day in History. I hope you all enjoyed it. Happy New Year, everyone. Do we have any questions or comments or check-ins? I see Debbie checked in with us. VA3OYL. Hi, Debbie. I hope everything is you're doing well. Happy New Year, my dear friend. All right, so no comments, questions, or late check-ins for the net, other than Debbie. We'll put Debbie in the list there. You're number 17, Debbie. Welcome. I hope everything's going well with you. And so with that, let's go to the top of the list and talk to Albert for a 7-3 round. I think he said he's going to work tomorrow. A lot of guys are starting on January 2nd. VE3 APT or VA3 BT. Albert. Oh, Albert has to get up bright and early. That's understandable. VA3 WPG. Chris.
He was in there.
Albert.
Sorry, I was on a different frequency. Keyed up the wrong microphone.
You're doing FT8. I know.
Yeah, I keyed up ZOE and I'm talking. I'm like, wrong frequency. But anyways, yeah, we were still listening along there, Chuck. Anyways, thanks for doing it. Thanks for being there. Happy New Year's to everyone on frequency here. 7-3, VA3 BT.
All right, Albert. Thanks a bunch. By the way, I just pulled up my security camera. It is snowing at the moment. So you might have some wet, slushy stuff in the morning for you. So be mindful of that. Take care, Albert. And thanks for joining us. So let's move over to Chris, VA3 WPG.
All right, VA3 WPG, 73, everyone. Have a good night. 73, catch you on the next one, and good night tonight.
All right, Chris. Yeah, I'm sure we'll talk to you again real soon. Let's see. Noel was on the YouTube stream, but he also checked in. So let's go to Noel, VE3KDT.
Yeah, I'm still here. Actually, still on the crossband and hope it's coming across okay. But 7-3s to everyone. Thanks for doing the net again, and I will say good night. VE3 KDT.
All right, very good, Noel. Yeah, it's working just fine. Yeah, well, you can listen to it on YouTube. Just put in my call VA3CJZ there, and you can play back the YouTube stream. It's now 9:55, and so there is a clock on the YouTube stream. You can move the slider wherever you'd like. All right, Noel, take care. I'd like to thank everyone who checked in on the YouTube stream as well. By the way, that includes Noel and Wade, VA3NCA, VA3RUA, Victor Echo 3, X Ray Bravo Whiskey, Victor Alpha 3, Mike, Hotel Victor, Mark. Oh, we didn't hear Steve tonight. And let's see. Vern was in there. I doubt he's still there, but let's give him a shout. VA3, Charlie Romeo Foxtrot. How about Chris, VE3RWJ? All right, Larry, VE3LBI.
Yep, we're still listening along. Mac, you talked about streets with no names. What about that poor horse in the desert there? He never did get a name. And I just got an alert here. 4 to 8 centimeters by morning for snow.
Oh, geez, I forgot Mac.
And 4.
Oh, I forgot Mac. You're next.
What'd you say, Mac? Sorry.
Yeah, streets with no names and a horse with no name. They still can't find what they're looking for.
I know, he walked all the time in the desert with a horse with no name. I couldn't figure out why he couldn't give it a name. Okay, there you go, Chuck.
Okay, Larry, thanks for checking in. Much appreciated. And let's go back up the list to Mac. I don't know how I jumped over you there, Mac, but sorry. VA3IMW. And you were supposed to be right after Wade.
Actually, after Chris, but no worries. Thanks for the acrobatic attempt. It's been a while since somebody's jumped over me. Hope you didn't spray as you're going over. Anyways, everybody got the U2 references there, I'm quite sure. That was always the big funny, right? Walking down the streets with no names and still can't find what they're looking for. Well, you kind of solved the whole problem right there. Anyways, great net. Looking forward to hearing everybody tomorrow night for the Lake Ontario Radio Club on Simplex 446.125. And maybe Al will come in and get it right. Bonsoir tout le monde. And thanks again, Chuck.
All right, very good, Mac. Yeah, looking forward to checking in with your net. And while I'm at it, remember Huey, VE3DJZ, has a repeater on a tall building downtown, and he'd like you to stop by and say hi. 442.412.50. 442.412.50 with a 131.8 tone. So stop in and say hello to Huey. He's all by himself. All right, so where am I now? Next, after Larry is Jason, if he's still around. VE3 Zulu Juliet Charlie. And I'm assuming Vanya is having dinner. VA3XLJ. Thanks for checking in, Vanya. And Debbie snuck in there before 10 p.m. VA3 OYL. Thank you so much, Debbie. Happy New Year to everyone out there, and especially all the new hams there. If you have any questions, please don't be afraid to ask. We're here to help. And so, with that, if there are any last minute check ins, please come now. This is VA3CJZ. All right, look at that. It's 10 p.m. right on the dot. I'd like to thank everyone for joining me on this January the 1st, 2025. It was my pleasure to host the AREG Net, and I look forward to being here again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Happy New Year, everyone. Be safe and be kind to one another. This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu saying so long for now.